Nobody, and I mean nobody, saw this coming. Jim Jones, the man known for his loyalty to his inner circle, just flipped the entire love and hip-hop world upside down with one public statement that didn't just put Chrissy on the spot. Left Ciara frozen in shock, speechless, and caught in a whirlwind of drama she never signed up for. What Jim revealed wasn't some vague insinuation or a cryptic social media post. It was direct, unapologetic, and aimed straight at the heart of a secret Chrissy has been guarding for years. It all began during what was supposed to be a friendly live stream, Ciara popping in for a quick cameo, fans sending hearts, the mood easy and warm. But then, without warning, Jim leaned forward and said, "Since everybody wants the truth, let's talk about what Chrissy's been hiding." The chat erupted instantly, comments flying so fast you could barely read them. Ciara's smile faltered, her eyes darting off camera, and you could almost hear the tension thicken in the room. And then Jim dropped it, the kind of bombshell that doesn't just trend online for a day but shatters reputations, fractures relationships, and lights up the blogs for weeks. Within minutes, hashtags were climbing, fan accounts were splicing the clip, and both Ciara and Chrissy's teams were scrambling. But here's the thing. Jim says that was just the beginning. The moment Jim Jones' voice cut through the lighthearted banter, the entire vibe shifted. Ciara, who had been laughing and reading out fan comments, froze mid-sentence. The smile that had just lit up her face dimmed into a look of unease, her body shifting slightly in her seat like she was bracing for impact. The livestream chat didn't even have time to catch up before Jim delivered the first gut punch. "You all been thinking Chrissy's this open book?" Jim started, his tone low, deliberate, and laced with something that felt heavier than anger. "But y'all don't know half of it. And since she's been running her mouth about me lately, I guess it's only fair the truth comes out." Fans instantly sensed they were about to witness a moment that would live in love and hip-hop infamy. The comment section exploded with a flood of "oh my god, nitrogen monoxide way" and "spill ITJIM." Ciara's eyes widened, her hand instinctively going to her mouth. But Jim was already in full swing. He began by painting a picture of loyalty. How he had stood by Chrissy through financial setbacks, public criticism, and behind-the-scenes feuds that never made it to TV. "I took hits for her," he said, leaning into the camera. "And this is how she repays me. By acting like she's the one who kept me afloat." Nah, let's talk about who's really been holding secrets. Ciara tried to interject with a soft Jim. Maybe this isn't the time, but he cut her off sharply. "No, Ci, this is exactly the time. The people deserve to know. You deserve to know." That's when he dropped the first real bomb, a story about a mysterious business trip Chrissy had taken last year. According to Jim, it wasn't business at all. She was in Miami, he said, and not for no meetings. She was with somebody. Somebody I thought was a friend. Somebody she swore she couldn't stand. The chat erupted in chaos, people tagging every Miami-based name they could think of, theories flying faster than anyone could confirm. Ciara looked stunned, her head shaking slowly, as though she was silently begging him to stop. But Jim wasn't done. He claimed he had receipts, not vague rumors, not hearsay, but hard evidence. "I'm talking photos, I'm talking text messages, I'm talking about her staying in the same hotel suite for 3 nights straight. Want to play games, Chrissy? Let's play." At that point, Ciara's phone started buzzing like crazy on the table next to her. She glanced at it, her expression shifting from shock to outright panic. It was clear she was getting messages. Probably from Chrissy, maybe from their mutual friends telling her to shut it down. But Ciara looked frozen, unsure whether stopping Jim would make things better or worse. Jim went on to describe how the situation had blown up behind closed doors. He claimed that when he confronted Chrissy, she didn't deny the trip. She just tried to spin it. She said it was nothing, that it was all business, just friendly company, he recalled, his tone mocking. But you don't accidentally book the same hotel suite as somebody you swore you'd never be in the same room with again. What made it worse was the implication that this mystery man wasn't just anyone. Jim hinted heavily that he was tied to another major figure in their circle. He didn't name names, but the breadcrumbs were enough for viewers to start piecing together their own theories. And some of those theories were already trending before the live stream even ended. Ciara, still in visible shock, finally spoke up. "Jim, this is going to blow up. You know that, right?" Her voice was low, almost a whisper, but it carried an edge of fear. Jim simply nodded, eyes locked on the camera, and said, "Good, maybe it's time it does." The comment section went into absolute overdrive. Fan pages were clipping the moment and reposting it with captions like, "Jim Jones drags Chrissy on live, and Ciara's face says IT all." Even celebrities were chiming in, with some calling Jim out for airing private business publicly, while others applauded him for keeping it real. As the stream wrapped, Ciara excused herself abruptly, clearly rattled. Jim stayed on for a few more minutes, casing that he hadn't even revealed the real bombshell yet, that the Miami trip was just the tip of the iceberg. "If she keeps talking, I'll tell y'all about the New York situation," he said cryptically. "That one. Whoo! It'll make Miami look like a Sunday picnic." By the time the live stream ended, the damage was already done. Chrissy's name was trending in multiple cities, and Miami-related keywords were spiking on Google. Screenshots of Ciara's reaction were going viral, with people dissecting every micro-expression for clues about what she knew. And as for Jim, he had lit a fuse that everyone knew was going to blow. But no one could predict just how big the explosion would be. The live stream ended, but the chaos was just beginning. Within minutes, fan pages had already chopped up the juiciest parts of Jim's rant and posted them across Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. The captions were ruthless. "Jim just ended Chrissy's career." "Ciara's reaction is all you need to see, and this is going to get ugly fast." The clip of Ciara's frozen smile and wide eyes was looping endlessly, with viewers debating whether she was shocked because she didn't know, or shocked because she knew exactly what Jim was talking about. By the next morning, the fire had spread. Chrissy's phone was blowing up, not just from friends, but from bloggers, gossip pages, and even producers from Love and Hip Hop. At first, stayed silent, posting nothing but a black screen on her Instagram story with the words, "People will do anything for attention." But it didn't take long for her to snap. An insider, someone who claimed to be close to Chrissy, leaked a series of voice notes to a gossip blog. In them, Chrissy could be heard pacing, her voice sharp and furious. "He wants to talk about Miami. Fine, let him talk. But if he mentions New York, he'd better remember he's not as squeaky clean as he thinks." That last part sent shivers through the fandom. What did she know about Jim that could top the Miami revelation? Meanwhile, Ciara found herself stuck in the middle of a battle she hadn't signed up for. Her DMs were flooded with messages, some from fans demanding she spill what she knew, and others warning her to distance herself before the situation got uglier. One particularly bold fan even claimed to have screenshots from Miami and offered to send them to Ciara directly. Whether she opened them or not remains a mystery, but the rumor that Ciara had seen the receipts started circulating almost instantly. Then came the moment that turned an already volatile situation into an outright explosion. A well-known gossip page dropped what they claimed were the first photos from Miami. The images were grainy but damning. A man who looked a lot like the rumored friend Jim had mentioned was seen entering a luxury hotel lobby with a woman whose profile looked very much like Chrissy's. The timestamps matched the exact weekend Jim had referenced. The post had barely been up for an hour when Jim went live again, this time without Ciara. His tone was cocky, almost smug. "I told y'all I wasn't lying," he said, holding up his phone. "And this is nothing. The real proof? I'm saving that for when she tries me again." He also doubled down on the hint about New York, claiming it involved somebody very close to Chrissy's heart and that it would make her whole image crumble. Chrissy's camp hit back immediately. Her publicist released a statement calling the allegations fabricated, out of context, and beneath response. But the problem was, no one was buying it. The combination of Jim's confidence, the leaked photos, and the mounting speculation was too strong. Bloggers smelled blood, and every new post was met with thousands of comments dissecting every pixel. Every phrase, every sidelong glance from that original livestream. Ciara, for her part, tried to pivot away from the drama. She posted a set of polished photos from a charity event, smiling wide and looking unbothered. But the comments under her post were flooded with fans dragging her back into the mess. "You sat right there while Jim aired her out. We saw your face. Ci? Spill the tea or unfollow both of them." Behind the scenes, an insider claimed Ciara had been on the phone with both Jim and Chrissy in separate conversations, trying to de-escalate the situation. But the calls didn't go well. Jim allegedly told her, "If you're not with me, you're against me," while Chrissy accused her of letting him use you as a prop to humiliate me. As if things couldn't get more heated, another bomb dropped. A blog known for always getting the dirt first posted a blurry screenshot of what appeared to be text messages between Chrissy and the rumored Miami man. The messages were flirty, with references to round 2 tonight, and don't forget the champagne. The date stamp on the screenshot matched the Miami trip exactly. Chrissy fired back on her story within minutes, claiming the texts were fake and photoshopped. But by then, the damage was done. Fans were already convinced the relationship was real. And hashtags like #MiamiGate and #ChrissyExposed were trending. Producers reportedly began scrambling to figure out how to capture the drama for the next season of Love and Hip Hop. With one insider saying, "This is ratings gold. We just have to get everyone in the same room before they completely cut each other off." But the big question wasn't whether they'd show up. It was whether the New York secret Jim kept teasing would come out first in a cryptic move. Jim posted a single sentence on Twitter. "New York, you ready?" The tweet racked up thousands of retweets in minutes, and speculation ran wild. Some thought it was a warning shot at Chrissy. Others believed it was bait to keep her from speaking. First, by the end of the day, Ciara had gone completely quiet on social media. No posts, no stories, nothing. That silence only fueled more rumors. Was she distancing herself? Or was she sitting on information that could blow the entire thing wide open? Whatever the truth was, everyone could feel it. The next revelation wasn't going to just escalate the drama, was going to detonate it. 2 days of silence felt like 2 weeks in the gossip world, and the suspense was suffocating. Fans were refreshing timelines, scanning Instagram lives, and camping in the comments of gossip pages, like soldiers on a battlefield waiting for the next strike. And then, without warning, Jim lit the fuse. He didn't go live. He didn't post a selfie. Instead, he dropped a single video clip to his Instagram, shaky phone camera footage, filmed late at night with the faint sounds of traffic in the background. The video showed a dimly lit restaurant in New York City, and seated at a corner table was Chrissy, leaning in close to a man who was definitely not Jim. They weren't kissing. But the body language was undeniable. Hands touching, heads tilted toward each other. Laughter that looked just a little too intimate. The caption was just 3 words: New York truth. The internet imploded. Within minutes, #New York Truth was trending, and the man in the video was quickly identified by online detectives. He was a music producer, one who, years ago, had been linked to Chrissy during a rumored break in a relationship with Jim. The timeline, location, the history, it all lined up too perfectly. Ciara's name came roaring back into the mix when a fan account posted side-by-side photos. Ciara had been at the same restaurant earlier that week for a charity dinner. The implication was clear. Had she been there the same night, seen Chrissy, and chosen to say nothing? Her silence suddenly felt strategic. maybe even protective of one side over the other. The plot thickened when a source close to production leaked that the New York dinner wasn't random at all. According to them, Chrissy had been meeting the producer to discuss a project. But Jim believed the meeting was a cover for something more personal. That's why they claimed he had someone film it to prove she was crossing lines again. Chrissy didn't hold back this time. She went live, hair pulled back, face bare, voice trembling with a mix of anger and disbelief. "You want to stalk me now? You want to send people to follow me around New York like I'm some criminal? It's harassment, Jim and Ciara. I see you sitting back like you're Switzerland, but you know exactly what you're doing. You're letting this man drag me through the mud because it's good for your little online numbers." It was the first time Chrissy had publicly pulled Ciara directly into the fire, and it hit like a punch. Within seconds, Ciara's name was trending alongside Jim's and Chrissy's, and her DMs, according to an insider, were a complete war zone. Jim wasted no time firing back. He posted another story, this time a screenshot of a text exchange allegedly between him and Chrissy from months earlier. The messages showed Jim confronting her about meeting up with that dude in New York. To which Chrissy had replied, "It's none of your business anymore." The timestamp matched the week they were reportedly taking space from each other. As the drama spiraled, Ciara finally broke her silence. But instead of addressing the accusations head-on, she posted a cryptic black and white photo of a chessboard with the caption, "Every move has a consequence." Fans were split. Was she warning someone? Protecting herself? Playing both sides until the perfect moment. Then came the final twist of the night, one that no one saw coming. The same gossip page that had dropped the Miami photos earlier now claimed to have audio from the New York dinner. In the muffled clip, a woman's voice that sounded like Chrissy's could be heard saying, "I just need to be free of all that drama. Maybe then I can be happy again." The man replied, "You know I've always been here." It wasn't a smoking gun, but it was enough to fan the flames. By midnight, battle lines were drawn. Jim's supporters were calling Chrissy unfaithful and manipulative, while Chrissy's defenders were accusing Jim of obsession and public humiliation as revenge. Ciara's fan base, meanwhile, was demanding she drop the receipts if she truly had them, with some even threatening to unfollow if she kept playing coy. Behind the scenes, production was reportedly pushing for a face-to-face meeting between all three. One insider claimed cameras were already rolling in case any of them agreed. But another warned that too much has already been said in public. They might never share the same space again, in a move that left everyone guessing. Jim deleted the original New York video just before sunrise. No explanation, no follow-up, just gone. But by then, it didn't matter. The clip had been saved, reposted, and dissected by thousands. The damage was irreversible. And now, with everyone waiting for the next shoe to drop, there's one question on everyone's mind: if this is how explosive it got over New York, what else is still hiding in the shadows, waiting to blow? And now you see it. The walls are closing in, the masks are slipping, and every whispered rumor is clawing its way into the light. Jim didn't just throw shade, he lit the entire stage on fire. Chrissy didn't just clap back, she swung for the jugular. Tia! Standing in the eye of a hurricane, holding secrets that could shatter everything and everyone in one move. But here's the thing, this storm isn't over. It's not even close. The New York dinner was just one chapter, and if what insiders are saying is true, there are still two more scandals waiting to hit. Scandals that make Miami and New York look like child's play. And when they do, the fallout won't just take down relationships, it could end careers. So the question is, whose side are you on? Are you riding with Jim as he exposes the truth? Or are you backing Chrissy as she fights to take control of her own story? And what about Ciara? Is she the quiet mastermind or the innocent caught in the crossfire? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now, because trust me, when the next bomb drops, you're going to want your name on record. And whatever you do, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. When the next wave of receipts hit, you won't want to hear about it secondhand. You'll want to be right here in the front row watching it all unfold.